Do not click off of this video. I repeat, do not click off of this video. The universe brought us here today for a very important reason. There are some things that I want to shed light on with you in this moment. So, what I want to say is, don't be afraid to be selfish. And don't feel bad for selfishness either. Too much of anything could be harmful. Too much water can kill you. Too much oxygen can cause you to hyperventilate. Too much food can be bad for you. Too much of the basic necessities that you need for life can be bad for you. So with that being said, if we apply this same concept to all things in life, too much of anything is a recipe for disaster. However, there are certain things that are allowed to be enjoyed, allowed to be practiced, allowed to be experienced in healthy manners, healthy amounts at that. Selfishness is rooted in the idea of self-preservation, which is one of the most important concepts in the natural world. I've told y'all multiple times in numerous videos before this one that the natural world is the purest reflection of how it is things should be. So with that being said, don't be afraid to be selfish. At the end of the day, the tiger must eat the gazelle and the lion must eat the deer. So there is no need to be sad or frustrated or in a state of feeling bad about yourself because of the fact that you must express selfishness at certain points in time. Selfishness is what keeps you alive. Selfishness is what helps you achieve the desires and the goals that you have set for yourself. There are a lot of things that your parents may not want for you, but out of acts of selfishness, these are things that you still choose to do, and they end up working out for you. And I'm sure that you've already experienced these things in life. You just may not have realized them or may not have evaluated them as such, but that is the case. So with that being said, don't be afraid to say, I need to put myself first. On this road of spirituality, I found myself wanting to please others. But in the same time, I was inevitably being selfish. So I found myself in this mental loop of constantly beating myself up, saying, damn, I could have did X, Y, and Z. I could have did this. I should have did that. And while that's all fine and dandy, for whatever reason, the universe did not compel me to do such a thing. Because the concept of selfishness, which was very much rooted in self-preservation to an extent, was something that I needed to explore in order for me to understand that it's okay to put myself before anything else. It's okay to put ourselves first. We can't please everybody, and we're not meant to. I heard Alan Watts once say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and what he was expounding on was saying that, you know, like, let's look at the world for an example. The world is like, hey, this is what we want for society. Society says this should be our political structure. This should be our financial structure. This should be our educational structure, because we feel like this is what is best. Or at least that's the illusion that they give to us, right? So if we're going to approach it from that angle of this is the illusion that is the truth, right? Let's just say for a second that is true, that they have our best interests at heart. They're destroying us, inevitably. They're disabling us, inevitably. They are disconnecting us from reality, because they are overindulging in selfishness. This is what they want for themselves, and so they project that onto the rest of the world, saying that these are the systems that we must adopt too. So to connect that thought, bringing it all the way back, the reason why I said too much of anything is a bad thing is because too much selfishness is an issue. But there is a healthy amount of selfishness that one may find a necessity to explore for themselves. It's necessary to preserve self. This is the fundamentals of nature. This is how you survive. This is how you sustain yourself. And then you take these concepts and whatever it is that line up with your own moral obligations, you apply it. So for me, while I must make sure that things that I want for myself come first, I also must make sure that things that I want for my family come before that. In certain instances, not all the time. Sometimes I'm very selfish, and I've beat myself up about it a lot, saying, damn, I probably could have did more for my mother. I could have did more for my brothers and sisters. If you can do more, then do more. If you can do more, then do more. But evaluate it. Evaluate the situation. Evaluate what it is that you need for yourself more than anything. Not what you want. Don't be confused by what you want and replacing that with what you need. Focus on what you need first and foremost, and the things that you want will line up. To my experience, that is how the universe works. So I say all that to let you know that there is no need to feel bad for the things that you do if they are rooted in selfishness at times. Acts of selfishness is part of the reason why the world functions in the manner in which it does. And I don't mean the darker side of the world. I mean, things that are beautiful in the world. There were people who were selfish and chose to make art that reflected who they were. There were people who were selfish and chose to study and indulge in practices and disciplines of science and disciplines of mathematics because that was what they wanted to do. And while some of these ideas may be rooted in the concept of, oh, this would make life better for other people, it still was an act of selfishness to a degree. Because there were things that went against what it was that they wanted, went against what it was that they desired, and they still chose to follow through with it. You see what I'm saying? A lot of, and I'm a big music guy, so I may relate a lot of things to music, but there's a lot of great music out there that is a reflection of what people felt, a reflection of what people felt other people should have heard or should be hearing. And despite what other people around them in their immediate circles may have told them, saying, hey, nah, I'm not fond of that. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give you an example. I'm not sure if you know much about Tupac. Tupac got a song called Dear Mama, and I'm sure that while his mother may not have wanted him to talk about her experiences as a crack addict, as a former crack addict, this was something that he still felt like he wanted to express. Now, whether he felt, oh, I want to express this to the world because I know the world needs to hear this, or I want to express this to the world because I know the world will find value in this and I can make money from it. Whatever his intention was completely different. That's something that I may not know in this moment, and I may not ever come to know. But, however, I can rationalize it as an act of selfishness that drove him towards it. It was something that he wanted to do, and so he did that. So don't be afraid to be selfish at times. Sometimes we need that. With that being said, I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much, family. I'm gonna let y'all do what y'all need to do, and I'm gonna go ahead and carry on with my day as well. Till we meet again, peace, reflection.